So part two of the Thanksgiving modeling routine here to Jamie Pearson and Kaiser Permanente and Reverend Ed Trevors. This is going to be unlisted, but what the hell? 3:49 in the morning, West Coast time. I should be back in bed sleeping, but hell with it. During this time in the morning for Thanksgiving Day, which is the 28th of November, 2024. Years back, food prep, turkey in the oven at this point, or just about. No, just getting ready for it. Other stuff being cooked and ready to go at a moment's notice, and the turkey would be in the oven for about 7 o'clock all the way until 3 or 4 or 2, somewhere in that time zone, depending how big the monster is. This would get to me a great deal in those days, I'll tell you. But I said something concerning about Christmas, though. This is not exactly a Christmas video. It's supposed to be Thanksgiving, but these are memories that I have. And I was getting into the Christmas tree thing of it all. Around Thanksgiving, Ma would get on my brother's. She'd get on Dave's case, and then she'd jump on my case for getting the Christmas decorations started. She wanted things up and ready to go. And every time I would do the tree, and it was Johnny's tree. It wasn't a family tree. It was Johnny's tree. Why? Because Johnny got stuck with Christmas. Decorating that thing ever since I was a teenager. So it was my job to decorate it right, and Ma would always criticize it. The family tradition, she's got to tear the damn thing apart visually. Did you feel this thing? Did you feel this thing? Did you feel that thing? Did you see the? Did you take a look at the whole thing? It took years for me to get a practice side of looking at the tree saying, okay, let's see it. Step back from it, turn the tree, and turn yourself so you can look at the tree. If the tree's backed into a corner, you have to have it pulled out so you're looking at the whole thing. Sometimes you have to turn it. And if you got the lights on it, oh, well, you're going to be in trouble. We always have to get lights on it first. Uh, and try not to get ourselves tangled up in the cords. Always had to make sure that the dogs were away. Otherwise, they get tangled up in the cords. And there was a reason that came about. Several days after Christmas, we lost a dog that way. Buddy Buster, Cocker Spaniel. It looked like a walking footstool. Had to put him to sleep on our January 1st. But getting back to the tree, it was always had to be done. It was had to be put up. Uh, it was something that had to be done. Ma stuck me with the decorating the Christmas tree. When she thought I was ready and not as clumsy. When I was growing up as a kid, I was clumsy. I was breaking things left and right. Glasses, plates. They were afraid that if I actually touched old dishes that we actually had and old collectibles that my grandmother and Aunt May would have, oh God, I'd never live to hear the end of it. But we're talking about Christmas decorations. We're talking about glass bulbs. We're talking about glass ornaments. And when you touch these ornaments, well, they had memories locked up in them. I have what's left of the stragglers. Gotten a few new ones, but I got stragglers here. And they have memories. They have memories. Most of the old stuff is gone, lost. Very valuable stuff. May look like it was broken down, but it was still part of the family, part of history, part of memories. Every time I would handle them as I got older, it would be more and more with care because I knew how much they meant. More family values, sentiment as it is, sentimental as they are. That's what I was. And the last time I actually did a full grown tree decoration was the year we're going to be getting the hell out of the trailer home a long time ago. I got evicted. We had to celebrate Christmas quick. We're going to about be evicted into the land of homelessness. But the year before, my brother and I didn't feel that pressure or that fear. We just got into the mobile home. We celebrated Thanksgiving with people that helped us move from one place to another place. And we were feeling grateful and joyful and pulled out all the Christmas decorations and stuffed animals we had and threw them about the living room areas. The pictures I would have of them. Somewhere buried in the drives I've got. How we spent it. How Dave and I spent it surviving Ma's passing. She had passed February twice in February. February 1st and then the 18th, I think. 18th and 19th. I always get that date screwed up. I was not liking to deal with that kind of a date, guys. And it would be very depressing during those holiday seasons. We were coming up on it, but we also realized that Christmas, Thanksgiving and Christmas was one of the two major holidays we had to celebrate. And without the feeling bad of losing Ma would have loved the decorations that we put up there. But she would also get on my case for the sparseness of the tree. Big white artificial tree or natural tree didn't matter. It was the tree. And Johnny had to decorate the thing, even though she'd get on Dave's case for it, but it was still Johnny's tree. Why? Johnny gets stuck decorating the tree all the time. If Dave would be the holiday chef of the family, I'd be the tree decorator. And then both of us would have to decorate the place, whatever we had, or could afford to get anyway. So we were living in a trailer home. It was about 2013, 2014. We're trying to make it special. It was until the 15th we got evicted and we made homeless. So the 14th was the last hurrah, big hurrah we have for a big tree and all of our family decorations. And I had to save and salvage some of that stuff in a box or two just to make sure I kept it with us because I didn't want to lose those decorations. We had a bunch of them, but I had to select which ones I'd like to save. And I did throughout the years. So I'm very careful of what I've got and where they are and how much they mean to me. You're decorating a tree, guys. You're making a statement. You're making an art form. You're making a message saying that my family celebrates the holiday. It's not just a celebration of Christ. It's a family. You're making a statement that this is celebrating family. I've had these. I showed you guys a while ago in my videos. Actually, I did, so I'm not going to do that. I'll just send the videos over to you guys. But you've seen how I decorated the other trees with the remnants I had and how important they are to me. I hadn't taken them down. I hadn't put them away. I kept them all up all year long. Changed the batteries. The lights are still hung up the way they are. I just wanted something transitional, not be transitional. I just wanted to be there all the time. It may have been an eyesore sometimes, but I got used to it. Got used to having the streamer back me, and I got used to the lights up there. I didn't play them all year long. I just waited for the holiday season so I can do that. And to me, it's important for me to do that. I know this is on a time of Thanksgiving, but my mother would be driving me crazy of not having holiday decorations on a tree. She would want that tree up because she didn't want to run into situations where we did the half-assed, haphazard way of decorating a tree. And it was important, guys, because Christmas was important to Ma. It always was when she was growing up as a kid. She loved having that feeling of anticipation of tearing open things left and right on Christmas morning. She always loved having a package or two down there and seeing the family's faces light up when they got what they wanted. Of course, you had to wait for several months. You give the list to Ma or to Santa, but she wanted to see she wanted to see how much it was appreciated. Not just the wrapping, but this love given. That's the thing I miss a lot. I can do the empty boxes, wrap them up with paper. But for me, I miss my family because those are the packages under a tree that you can't replace. That's why it gets harder and harder for me to deal with it because the longer they're dead, I'm not quite sure if the love still stays there or not, but I know that I still hurt, so love is still there. And I miss having stuff wrapped up by others, especially Ma and Dave, so I could place on a tree. And if I could, if there was maybe one or two gifts a long time ago, if I could have saved throughout the ages, I probably would. Just to use as props, just to know that they were there. Because that meant a great deal to me. That meant a great deal to me. I can't put down the trees. I can't put them away just yet. I'd get me a duffel bag if I could, if I could afford a duffel bag. You know, I could put them in there decorated and take them out all over again, but I can't do that. Not yet. But I'd get me a duffel bag anyway, so I can salvage them. And the decorations probably in a special box along with them. If they could be in one large duffel bag, I'd use it because it's important that much for me. I don't like putting that stuff away. I never have. But we couldn't keep them out there all year long, could we? I mean, we made the argument a long time ago about it, me and Ma and Dave. And after January, you put them back. But before Thanksgiving, you have the stuff out, ready to be thrown up on there. So about a month, we would have the decorations there. We would have the lighting there. We would have the streamers. We would have the candy canes. We'd have the tinsel out. We'd have the garland. We could put out the hats and the stockings. And that would mean something. Always would mean something. A younger kid would see stuff filled with nuts and fruit and a package or two in there. Get older, the packages would stay under the tree. The fruits would be a nice suggestion, being put on a platter outside. So I probably would miss a big, huge nut bowl with nut crackers in them and the picks. Pick out the meat out of a walnut or other nuts. Be cracking those things during the holiday season. Or the oranges you pull out and the big, huge nibbles. And slurp them up for breakfast right there. Or the packages would come out. Ma would need a coffee. Ma always needed her morning coffee. She would always need it. And she'd be drinking it and watching. If the tree wasn't up at a certain time, or before a certain time, she'd be jumping on Dave and me like crazy on that one. Things would happen that we'd got into a fix emotionally and maybe physically where we weren't able to get the tree up in time. There was one time we screwed up. We ruined Christmas. Throughout that year, Ma never let she continued the pain. Because she knew once in a great while the boys would forget. Christmas you never screwed up on. Ma's birthday you never screwed up on. Mother's Day, unheard of. The boys failed at 3 in our lifetimes. And we paid the price on that one heavily. I don't take down the trees. Not since a long while ago. I've kept up the decorations for almost a year and a half or two, maybe more. I wanted them out. I don't care how old and dusty they got. There was one Christmas tree. It was a put together one. A silver one. Not much on putting stuff on unless you want the thing to fall apart, but I gave a tree out to someone. I've gotten other trees. I talked about it in my earlier videos. I know I have. But to me, they mean something to me. Things they are, yes. They are things. They are physical, inanimate objects. Except, of course, if you happen to put power through the lighting, you get those kind of things. But it's the meanings that we put into the items itself, or the representations that they mean to us, of the memories, of the love, of the feelings that we've gone through. Christmas was just more than decorations. I know of the biblical, but even during that time there was gifts given. Promise that was exchanged to people, emanating from a family, from a promise, from stars, from angels. And all was given was frankincense and myrrh and gold. Things to help the family out to survive. But it was a gift of the heart that was presented. Awe, wonder, and of love. And the reasons why I cry like crazy is because I miss those times when I actually had those special days. I mourn, I grieve. But in essence, still there. And I may be too much of a sentimental old fool. Maybe I am. But I also realize how special that is. Even though it just makes me feel like I just want to cry my eyeballs out. But if I try to decorate a large tree, I don't know. My hands would be steady enough for that. But I'd hoped I would. And decorate a tree to Ma's satisfaction. I don't care about mine. I care about Ma's. She would tell me, look at the tree. Look at it entirely. See the holes. Fill the holes. She didn't say with what. She said fill the holes. And so I would look at a tree. I would see the holes and I'd say I need to fill it. As best as I can with whatever I had. With lights, with ornaments, with candy canes, with garland, with tchotchkes. I kept the Christmas tree up at a job site I had. Nearly kept it up all year. Drove 'em nuts. I say I ain't taking the tree down. This means too much to me. It did. Extension of my family. I don't take them down. The lights will still stay up. They'll be turned off for another long spell. Lights I've got in my bedroom are still there. I'll change out the bulbs if I had to. But I still wanted something. Something I could hold on to. Something that would mean a great deal to me. And maybe in one small corner I can decorate. One small section. But at least I wanted it to mean something. Even to me. That it is important. It's not just the getting of the stuff, it's giving of oneself. It's giving of oneself. One way or another. Maybe I would make this public to give it out to the public. I miss my therapist. I miss you, Jim. And Reverend, one of these here days we're going to be talking. But I know a lot of people want your attention. It's all right. We'll talk this way, my friend. Anyway, for this, I'll probably go back to bed, check on the Nama, see how she's doing. Crawl back out again. See, I'm not worried about my Thanksgiving food. I'm not worried about it. I'm worried about how I am this morning and how I'm dealing with things. I know politically it's insane right now as it is, but let it be. Let it be. I'm just dealing with what is right now. And what is right now is I know in a couple of hours from this time zone, which is 4:12 in the morning, East Coast time, to getting ready with the Macy's parade. I can only stand Miracle on the 34th Street so many times. Doesn't matter how many versions of it. I need to see the parade. I need to see the parade. We'll talk. Happy Thanksgiving to both of you. And happy holidays. Walters.